Example 5. Determine the slope of the graph of 3 times the quantity x squared plus y squared squared equals 100 x times y at the point 3, 1. So you can see here this equation. It'd be pretty difficult to try to solve for y to get y by itself. So this is an implicit equation, and it would be pretty hard to make it an explicit. So we're going to do implicit differentiation, which means we're going to take the derivative of the whole equation with respect to x, which means any function that is not in terms of x, after we take the derivative, we're going to have to multiply that by dy dx. Okay? So let's take the derivative of this first one here, this first one here. This is going to be, it's going to start off with the chain rule, which is going to start off being the power function, or not the power function, the power rule. So you're going to do 2 times 3, which is 6, leaving you with x squared plus 6 equals x squared plus y squared to the first power. Then you're going to have to take the derivative of what's inside this function here. So this would end up being 2x plus 2y. And notice here, when you take the derivative of this one, since it's not in terms of x, this is where you have to multiply this by this dy dx. So there's that side of the equation. Now the other side of the equation, when I take the derivative of this one, I have a constant of 100. I'm going to factor that out in front. And then I'm going to take the derivative of x times y, which would be the product rule. So the product rule says take the first function times the derivative of the second function. Again, the second function is y, which is not in terms of x, so you have to multiply that by dy dx, plus, so the first times the derivative of the second, plus the second times the derivative of the first. So now we have this, okay? The next thing I'm going to do, right here, I'm going to factor out a 2. So I have 6 times x squared plus y squared times 2x plus y dy dx. Over here, I'm actually going to multiply through by 100. I'm going to make this 100x dy dx plus 100y. And then this would be 12 x squared plus y squared, x plus y times dy dx equals this 100x dy dx plus 100y. Then I'm going to multiply through this way. So you're still going to have this 12 out in front. This would end up being x cubed plus x squared y dy dx. And then you're going to multiply here, which would end up being x y squared. Multiply here, which would be y cubed dy dx. Then, okay, now I need to distribute, multiply the 12 all the way through here. So this would be 12x cubed plus 12x squared y dy dx plus x, 12xy squared plus 12y cubed dy dx equals still this 100x dy dx plus 100y. Next, what I want to do. I want to get all the terms with the dy dx's on the same side of the equation, because eventually that's what I want to solve for. So I'm going to keep the 12x squared y dy dx on this side, plus the 12y cubed dy dx, and then I'm going to subtract the 100x dy dx. So I've got taken care of those. And then these that I've got circled here, I want all of those over here on this side of the equation. So I'm going to keep the 100y. I'm going to subtract 12x cubed, and I'm going to subtract 12xy squared. Next, on this side of the equation, I'm going to factor out dy dx. So that's going to leave me with 12x squared y plus 12y cubed minus 100x. And that would equal the 100y minus 12x cubed minus 12xy squared. And then finally, to get dy dx by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by this. So I'm going to have 100y minus 12x cubed minus 12xy squared all over 12x squared y plus 12y cubed minus 100x. Okay? And now what the problem wants us to do. So now they want us to find the slope, which is dy dx, at the point 3, 1. So we need to plug in 3 for x all the way through this derivative and 1 for y. So this would be 100 times 1 minus 12 times 3 cubed minus 12 times 3 times 1 squared all over 12 times 3 squared times 1 plus 12 times 1 cubed minus 100 times 3. So let's see if we can figure this out. So this would be 100 minus 12 times 27 minus 12 times 3 all over 12 times 9 plus 12 minus 300. This is going to be 100 minus, let's see, 12 times 27 is going to be 324 minus 12 times 3 is 36. All over 12 times 9 is 108 plus 12 minus 300. So let's see, this would end up being 100 minus 324 minus 36. That's going to be negative 260. And let's see, 108 plus 12 minus 300. That's going to be negative 180. So this would be negative 260 over negative 18. So this is going to end up being 13 over 9.